Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing a dogfight between me and a BF-109. This fight I start off with an energy disadvantage and an altitude disadvantage as well. So, as you can see here, the 109 is behind me, he is closing on me, and I'm trying to dive away to extend the gap, but I can't because I'm at a speed disadvantage. Now he starts climbing and turning left, presumably to try and just disengage the fight. Maybe he's uninterested. And what I do is I mirror that movement because he can't see me, one, and two, I'm actually trying to keep him as close as possible to capitalize on any mistakes that he might make, which here he does make a mistake where he loses visual on me for a little bit too long, and I'm able to get into a position where I can take shots at him. Of course I miss because those are pretty ambitious long-range shots that are probably not going to hit. But it's enough to kind of scare him and get in his head a little bit. Now, a little side note here. Whenever I go in for a landing, I open my radiators and I turn on the filtered air so that I have a less chance of killing my engine, just because, you know, when you're landing on a dirt airfield you can get sand and rocks in there or whatever. So I do that so I can reduce the chances of killing my engine. But I forgot to change it back to ram air when I took off, and I also forgot to close my radiator. So I'm missing out on about 200 pounds of thrust, and then also the filtered air is causing extra drag. So I'm actually a little bit slower than I should be here. Anyways, after some time, we end up in a head-on situation, which I barely escaped. As you can see there, the bullets were very close to hitting me. And then, yeah, he does a very slow climbing left-hand turn. I do a very slow climbing right-hand turn. And, well, I'm going to leave this part in because although it seems like, you know, you can't really see the enemy aircraft that well, we're not really turning super hard, we're still in a dogfight. So I wanted to leave this part in just so you guys could see my instruments and all that, because this is still an important part of the fight. Although we might not be, you know, close quarters, pulling hard G's and all that, this is still technically a dogfight, and it's still pretty important for you guys to see how I'm flying here. So I'm going to leave this part in. So I notice he starts going from right to left, or left to right. So I adjust my flight path and try and head in the same direction that he is. Because even though I'm losing this fight, I still want to keep him close, like I said before, to capitalize on any mistakes that he might make. And you can see here, I'm trying my best to mirror all of his movements. So when he turns right, I turn right, all that stuff. Just so I can maintain the proper distance between me and him. I want to stay close, but I don't want to stay too close. Here I'm using the F5 camera view to give you guys an idea of how fast he's closing in on me. So he's much faster than me right now. I'm missing out on about 3 psi of manifold pressure because I am on filtered air instead of ram air. That filtered air is causing extra drag as well. So less manifold pressure, more drag, and I'm missing out on 200 pounds of thrust. So that could have made a little bit of a difference in this fight. Who knows? Could have played out a little differently. on the good side, on the positive note, I am getting pretty good cooling right now. My engine's definitely not going to overheat. I'm looking back the entire time trying to dodge his shot, so I'm doing a pretty bad job of centering the ball, but at this point it's more important to dodge his shots than try and center the ball. As you can see here, he's banking right, so I bank right. Trying to keep him close, like I said, not too close, but close enough to where I can, again, capitalize on any mistakes that he makes. I'm climbing pretty hard here, trying to make up for the altitude difference between us while he's not looking at me, you know? Trying to climb as hard as I possibly can. Now he spots me here, and what he does is he shuts his engine, or he goes to idle in order to lower his speed and increase his turn radius, which is a good idea, except what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't pull your throttle to idle in order to increase your turn radius, especially in situations like this where we're energy fighting. What you should do instead is pull up into the vertical, trade your airspeed for altitude, and slow down that way, and then turn. The only time you should cut your throttle in a dogfight is if you want to make the opponent overshoot, or if your engine's like literally about to explode. And you can see here now he's gaining on me, but he's actually not gaining on me as fast as he was before. It's a little bit slower this time. So we've started to neutralize the energy state a little bit here. And look at that, he's out of range. And what I do here, I start flashing my nav lights at him, just to kind of taunt him and like try and keep him in the fight, get in his head a little bit. And I leave him on. Oh, and by the way, if you look at the compass in the top left, we're heading north right now, or northeast, which is really good. We're over the channel. We're like halfway across the channel right now. So, and he's been going full throttle for a pretty long time, so he's probably pretty low on fuel. Keep that in mind. Like, even if he disengages, even if he shoots me down right now, he might not even make it back to the coast. Who knows? Now, I'm not sure if this guy realizes this, but he was actually in control of the fight for a very long time. So the fact that we're heading north right now is his fault. He could have controlled the fight better so that we could have been heading east or south, and that would have put me at a pretty big disadvantage, especially if I was getting shot at by flak right now. It would change the fight a lot. So always keep that in mind. Always look at which direction you're heading in a fight like this, and your fuel as well. So right now I'm almost at his same altitude right now. I used up a little bit of my energy to climb up there, but at the time I thought it was worth it. It looks like he's actually closing on me right now because of the speed that I lost in the climb. I notice he's almost at the second cloud layer here, so I kind of in my head I'm thinking, man, I need to get really close to him because he could escape into that top cloud layer. So I start climbing pretty hard here, which probably wasn't the best idea. I lost a lot of speed in that zoom climb. The ball wasn't centered. I was just climbing way harder than this aircraft can climb. And he takes some shots at me. I wasn't zoomed out in the camera, so you can't see, but those shots were in range. They were very close. They weren't 30 mils, but I didn't know that at the time, and I was pretty scared. So I start diving, trying to extend away. Now the reason I'm not diving super hard until now is because I want to stay above the first cloud layer. I don't want to hide in the clouds. I want him to keep chasing me. But he's so close right now that I'm pretty much forced at 450 miles per hour to pull up super hard, 8 Gs, 6 Gs, and hide right above that first cloud layer. I wanted to not go below it, but I was forced to. So I did for a little bit, and instantly started climbing back up. He went straight down. He probably thought I would continue downwards, but no, I wanted to stay up. If he would have stayed under the cloud here and just focused on trying to get back to base, that would be the end of this fight. But he ends up climbing above the cloud, and I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty lucky with this EWRS in the top right. Northwest merged medium heading northeast. I looked at that, and I was able to see where he was. So I got pretty lucky there. I will admit that. If that call out didn't happen, I would not have seen him. Maybe I would have, but it would have taken a long time. A lot longer than it did in this video. So he doesn't see me, I see him. Right now he's still heading north. He's heading northeast, and he's turning left, so he's lost right now. He doesn't know where he's at. He's probably just looking for me. I get some shots on his tail. Shots on the fuselage. Hit his radiator, I think. And yeah, he's out of the fight now. And now he starts trying to head south. I'll make a little cut in the video here. He ends up running out of engine power. I don't know if he runs out of fuel or what. Maybe someone in the comments knows who flies the BF-109 what happened to his engine, but he ran out of power somehow. I'm guessing he ran out of fuel. Yeah, it looks like he was leaking fuel for a bit and then it ran out. So I'm guessing that's what happened, and I don't know. Ended up forcing him to land in the water. So yeah, that's all. I just wanted to show you guys that fight, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.